Welcome back to the Breakfast Show. Now, we have been reporting in the news, there's been a lot of chat about the fact that there's too many single women and not enough single men, and that people are getting married later. Everyone on our cast and crew happens to be single, so we thought, who better, I guess, to get in but Dr. Bella, who is a sexual anthropologist. How are you, Dr. Bella?
Very good. Thank you for having me on.
Why am I single?
Yeah, why? Is the man drought, does that exist? Is that true?
Look, the people that write to me at MX are all men, mostly men. I'd say about 95%, and they're the ones looking for relationships. I think by and large it's men that are having a harder time.
Right.
Why would men be having a harder time?
Because they have the job generally of asking, much harder than us. Much harder. They have to face rejection every time they go out there, and their whole self-esteem is based on this. It's a dangerous world, this world of dating.
And we see films like 40-Year-Old Virgin, which I imagine that character is, while a parody, kind of representative of a significant proportion of men.
Lots of people who are writing in have never been on a date, these men.
Really?
Lots of them. We did Operation Good Woman not too long ago, where I took a young Matthew, and we did a makeover on him, and we had a dating coach, and we were encouraging him to learn how to find love, because it's a tricky business and there is an art to it, indeed.
Can you tell us, is there a couple of tips or a couple of pointers that you can give us about how to find someone?
Yes, I think, in our culture, we think the most romantic way to meet someone is by chance. There's the sort of fatalistic thing where it's meant to be. So men who are going to make their move with a woman, I would choose sort of cinematic moments, at train stations or rainstorms, and also to increase.
You're writing notes.
Maybe even on Breakfast Show.
To increase the likelihood of chance encounters. I think both for men and women, looking the best that you can in terms of grooming, fitness, and clothing, being up to date with current events, and just getting out there and treating finding love almost like a business.
But see, when you do that, it can often reek of desperation, and that's not a cologne that many people like to smell.
True. I think rather than a desperation or a yearning, sort of being more playful with the world at whole and curious, and wanting to engage with not just men if you're a woman, but everybody, and having a sort of life is full of possibilities and surprises attitude really does help.
I've got a couple of modern day dating questions. Sorry, Rich, I will
No, this is great
because
because
it's very important. It's very important stuff.
I'd like to.
If someone asks you out via a text message, is that okay?
Oh, now I'm pro technology for dating. I think it's revolutionized the way we love. Right. But dumping people by text or asking them out, not very suave, not very sexy. Cool. But in some cultures, the Philippines, where I did my studies, that's quite a romantic way to go about it. Really? So to each their own. And for shy people, sometimes that gray area where you're not face to face and the rejection isn't quite as tangible suits.
Is fax okay? Is that okay?
Fax is over.
Okay. Well, because I remember there was like a great Seinfeld episode where Elaine was debating with Jerry as to whether she had to dump a guy after 7 dates, and he said, if it was 6, I could have let you go. In terms of if it was 6 dates, then she could have just called him up, but because it was 7, had to be a face-to-face.
Interesting.
I think generally, wouldn't the rule be it's nice to...
Yeah, I think it is nice to actually have that moment, but what happens if that moment happens too soon? Like if you've only been, for example, just making something up here.
Nothing personal.
Nothing personal at all. There's no injuries, no wounds here. If you were, say, seeing someone for, say, 2 weeks, but it was very intense, do you have to have the breakup conversation, or do you just walk away?
But what do you mean by intense?
Well, like a really good, strong connection.
A good, strong
Should I be lying down on the couch here? Like something really fun, you both felt it and it was great, and then they say, yada yada, I've got all these issues and blah blah blah, and they should have told you beforehand, but they didn't tell you beforehand, and then you find out later on, and then you have to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning, and you're not very happy about it, and the bluebirds have gone, and things aren't the way they used to be.
Bella, we apologise for Emma and I.
And I don't mean to come across as unsympathetic by any means.
But you can see why you left?
Not at all. But love is a dangerous game, and dating almost even more so. And it's all about rejection and humiliation. And you just have to brave it. The payoff occasionally, just occasionally, is worth it. So I think for people dating again after death or divorce, or teenagers, who are in year 11, it's the same thing. It's painful and risky and sometimes
humiliating.
Incredible. That's the name of the game.
Wow.
Yeah.
Just try to support yourself and do good things for yourself. And
That's true.
Just
keep
forget 'em.
breathing.
It's fine.
Just keep breathing.
That's
And by the way, the email address and the website is up on the screen right now. Just to repeat, Emma is single.
Hey, do you know what? We're all terminally single in this place. I mean, you've got a girlfriend, but you're not married.
No, I'm not married. I think maybe sometimes there's Bella.
You're
too much.
married.
Do you reckon there's a lot of pressure and engaged? There's a lot of pressure on people to actually find love, and I think maybe perhaps when we become happy with ourselves, when we truly love ourselves, when we grow, then we can truly be loved by others, grow with others, form the perfect symmetry, if you will.
Call him Yoda.
What do you think, Bella? I mean, is that true though? I mean, learning to love yourself is the greatest love of all.
Oh, the greatest love of all. Well, they do say that, and I do think there is a bit of pressure, particularly from these Hollywood films and music, which is spreading throughout the world, and more people from different cultures are wanting this ever after constant orgasm kind of relationship, which I'm sorry to say doesn't exist.
It doesn't. I was going to say, where do I sign up?
Is it? Yeah, no, it's all right.
Pass that clock.
And a lot of people alternatively aren't looking for a conventional type marriage relationship, and they're finding satisfaction with something more sort of loose around the edges of what the definition of monogamy may be.
You're talking about sticking your keys in the bowl.
Hey, yeah. Ever been to one of those? I mean, Bella, as a love doctor, surely is
no experience at any of those types of parties.
No experience at all, but you clearly know what you're talking about. We're going to have to get you back in, I think.
I know,
sounds
because
fun.
there's too much more to talk about, but I was going to say, you clearly know what you're talking about because you've got a massive rock on your engagement ring finger, so you've done something right, Bella. Thanks for coming in this morning.
Thank you very much.
Sorry about me unleashing hell momentarily. It's
Good,
time for us...
release it.
Yeah, I'm feeling much
Absolutely.
better now. It's time for us to take a quick break. When we come back, we are going to be speaking to the new host of a brand new show on Channel 31, which is going to rock your socks off. We'll see you after the break.
Not many, infinity. How many dudes you know got the skills to go and rock a show like this?